Finally, we have to get to the main objective of any firm, which is to maximize profit. Not only do we want to get profit, which is positive, we also want to maximize the dollar amount of that profit. Let's take a simple analysis. In this example, we already have the total revenues and the total cost. We are assuming now that the total cost has both explicit plus implicit costs calculated in. So we don't have to do any further calculation. Let's create another column to analyze profit. As we've done before, my pi sign is going to be my profit. Let's take a look at the type of profit we yield at every quantity. 0 minus 14 is negative 14. 18 minus 30 gives me a negative 12. Here we see that we have a profit of 0. All I'm doing is subtracting total revenue minus total cost. Take a second to calculate the rest of these numbers on your own. Here are my final profit numbers for this example. Again, all I did was subtract the total revenues from the total costs. We see that we have the three types of profits that we described above. When the number is a negative, this means the company is making a loss. When the number is a 0, it means that this company is making a normal profit. And finally, when these numbers are positive, it means that the company is earning an economic profit, or just profit. Notice that when we get to a 5, we maximize our profit. So it turns out that this is my profit maximizing quantity. This is important. When you want to maximize your profit, what you're really looking at is the precise level of production that your company must have in order to maximize profits. So basically, when this company produces 5 units of tomatoes, they will be maximizing their profit. In this class, we pay close attention to marginal quantities. So for this example, we will need to calculate our marginal revenue and our marginal cost. First thing we notice is that our quantities always go up by 1. Therefore, in order to calculate our marginal revenue and our marginal cost, all we have to do is subtract. For this purpose, I have created a marginal revenue column and a marginal cost column. Let's begin with marginal revenue. Marginal revenue in this specific example is easy because the price is always 18. If you notice what happens when we go from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and so on, is that our revenue always increases by 18. 18 minus 0 will be 18. 36 minus 18 is 18, and so on and so forth. Our marginal cost does vary. Let's go ahead and subtract. 30 minus 14, 16. 36 minus 30, 6, and so on and so forth. We now have our marginal cost and our marginal revenue data. We will take this data and plug it into our graph. Marginal revenue, again, is simple because we notice that it never changes. This means that graphically it will look like a straight horizontal line. We will draw that line at a price of 18. This type of marginal revenue curve is very specific to this type of example. We will see other types of marginal revenues as the unit goes on. Marginal cost is a little bit tricky because it changes. Whenever you're graphing a marginal unit, you must do it between quantities, meaning the first marginal cost that we have is 16. We will not be drawing that on the number 1. We will be drawing that between the number 0 and 1. So our first marginal cost point will be here. Notice that that point does not land on 0 and it does not land at a quantity of 1. It lands right in between. Let's practice a couple more. The next number we have is a 6. Again, pay close attention that you are not drawing it on either quantity. It goes in between. Let's go ahead and finish graphing marginal cost. These are all my points for marginal cost. If I join them into one curve, they will look like this. Here we see something very peculiar. My marginal revenue and my marginal cost intersect at this point. And that point is right on the number 5, which we know from our previous analysis is our profit maximization quantity. It actually turns out that to maximize profit, we need to look for a number where my marginal revenue equals to my marginal cost. This is going to be my profit maximization rule. Whenever my marginal revenue equals my marginal cost, I can just graph it, look for this point, let's label that point 1, and go down and see on what quantity that lands on. This will let me know at what level of production this company must operate.